Hello, welcome to our latest video on using our test pit logging app for logging test pits and using them in your septic designs. There are three different ways of opening the app. You can go to our website, Septic Assistant, and on the downloads page, about midway down the page, there's this window here. You can just start it by selecting this button. The start button right here. You can also enter the data by using a QR code scanner and scanning your device, scanning this QR code with any device that can read it. Or you can open a new window on your computer or cell phone by clicking on this test pit link here, which I've done. And then this is what that brings you to. And this is a dedicated window. There's nothing else in it. It's a lot easier using this on your smaller device. So to start it, you simply hit the initialize it, hit the start. Now this is a web-based app. It's not an Android app. It's not an iOS app. It's not a Windows app. It'll run on anything because it's a web-based app. So you've got your general data, your test pit ID, test pit number, whatever you want to call it. It can be anything. The log date, it defaults to today's date. It's got a calendar picker. You can pick another date or you can enter one manually. We're just going to use today's date. Test pit location, it's the address of where the test pit is. Now the test pit logger is pretty critical to get that right. That's the name of the person who's going to be designing the system and whose designer file is in the system because it matches the names. So you can only open test pits that designer has logged. So you need to make sure you get this. And there I go spelling things wrong. And this isn't changeable by the user at any point. If there's a problem and you enter the name wrong or something, you could send me an email or call me and I can change it, but nobody else has access to it. And this is an email on where to send the data to. This can be anybody's email. You can send it to the office. You can do anything with it. This is a brief description of the test pit, where it is. Not really describing the test pit itself, but in general description of where it may be. Now I've got options on what to do next. And they're kind of in order on how you should do them. We've got witness data. If you've got a town official that's witnessing the test pit, you can select this witness data. The perk test data, you can go to that at the end also. Now these are the first three horizon options. This topsoil fill horizon is, topsoil is when placed on top of fill. So, and you can have three different fill horizons below it. So if you got a filled site, which if you're doing a system for a test pit for a failed system, typically they're a filled site. You go right to your O horizon or right to your A horizon. Now, like the picture showed in the beginning of the app here, as far as the horizons go, we've got O, A, E, B, C, and then the R horizon, which is describing the ledge if you want to do that. So we'll go right to an O horizon. So this is the horizon depth from the original grade, from where the grass grows. I'll say it's 4 inches. We've got the hues here that are available in the NCRS logging app. This is right from the Munsell color. This is all the hues. Same with the values. The values kind of match the hues, so you won't get a value that isn't found in 10YR here. Same with the chroma. The chroma is based on the value found in the hue, so you won't get any color that you can enter here is an actual Munsell color. Then you've got structure. Now these are right out of the NCRS book, so there's no, you can't really add on to these. But what you can do is down here at the end, there's a description option. So you can, if you have any extra description, like you want to put in some stones and maybe define the size of the stones, or whatever, however you want to describe this, in addition to these USDA structure, texture, and consistency descriptions, you can do that. So we'll go to the A horizon now. We just hit the next button. Now this is not this depth is not the thickness of the A horizon. It's a continuing measurement from the surface the grass grows at. So the original horizon we had 5 inches, so this extends down to say 9 inches. We'll put 9 inches. We won't use 4 inches. We'll use the total depth to 9 inches. So we're not measuring each horizon individually. We're measuring them all cumulatively. And same thing with the descriptions here on your color selections. And these are the descriptions that are in the USDA manual. This is the textures available in the USDA manual. You may find that you typically write something else, but these are the ones that are per the manual. Same thing with the consistency. There is no very rigid. There's no, well, there is a very rigid. I'm sorry. There's no. These are them. If you need to do anything else, then you probably ought to write something in the horizon description here. Now, underneath A horizon, you could have an E horizon, or if you don't have an E, we can go right to the B. And we're at 9 inches, so we're going to go like 19 inches here. And then we'll go to your C horizon. If you want to add some redox features, you can. And if you go buy something, you can go back and it doesn't lose the data that you input already. So we'll do a C horizon next. We'll go 78 inches. We're just not going to select anything here, just showing you this. Now you can enter redox again. You can enter your R horizon, which is your refusal description, ledge description if you want to get into describing the ledge. But we'll go to the test pit dimensional data, which is seasonal high water table, roots. We're looking for the overall depth here again. If you had any seeping, if you had any impervious. Did you hit ledge refusal? You hit ledge, you hit refusal. Next page, we're going to go to the perk test data. This is perk test depth. The person that conducted the perk test, you don't need to fill that out. Perk test witness, again, you don't need to fill it out. The perk test date, again, it defaults to today's date. And this is if you're doing logging it as a pre-soak time and the depth and when you started, time to start, minutes and hours when you started. And it's kind of set up to pre-soak at the 12 inches, then you refill it at 12 inches, and that's when you start your test bit, your logging for your perk test, sorry. And at what time did you hit 9 inches on your water level, and at what time did you hit a water level of 6 inches? And we're just going to enter, you don't need to do this. We're just going to enter a perk test rate. So that's essentially it. You can rate this app if you want. And you can select submit. When you select submit, it emails you the data, post it in the cloud on a Google Sheets document, which is where it's going to come from when you download it in the program later. So I'll get Briskad going here and get something started, and then we'll show you how you bring this into the program. Okay, we're back. I've got Septic Assistant open. I've got a drawing that I've started. We're going to bring in the test bit data from that location. So we're going to import the test bit from our test bit logging app. We're going to hit the select button in here. This is the address we entered. Now we can save this to a CSV file at the same folder the drawing is at, so that you'll have the data on your machine in your office. This is the data that we had entered. We'll just say, and we're going to create the soil classification block here at the same time. Essentially, that's it. There's your test bit. We're going to get our map from here. Now, this is not the same address. This is just, but this will bring you up with a marker to where the job is that you're working on, based on the latitude and longitude that you entered in the geodata function. You simply, in this soil web application, you select the soil type here. It gives you a window over here. If we change it, see, it changes it to what that soil type is. We're just going to simply cut and paste this. We're going to copy. Now we can go back to Briskad. That was, I think it was HBC. Paste. No, it wasn't HBC. But no, accept. And that brings in our soil classification. So we've got our test pit here and our soil classification. Now, to use that test pit data for designing with, we're going to do a stone and pipe system. We select the import data from the test pit app. Select the test pit to use from the ones that we've logged. It updates this information here from that log. We've got 3 bedrooms. Okay. We're going to do 5-foot pipe spacing, 20-foot wide system, 34 feet, so we'll go 35. Here's what the bed looks like. We want to throw the D box off to the side. Now we'll bring our bed in. And there's our system that we just design based on that test pit data that we logged with the test pit logging app. Now, we haven't got anything in the view yet here, so we'll set up our viewport at a 20 scale, so we'll hit enter, and we want our viewport centered there. So now you can finish the design. That's it for how to use the test pit logging app. Keep it above the water table. Until next time, goodbye.